Navjot, I love teaching. I really love teaching. Um, Whenever I see people excited or enthusiastic to learn, for me, being able to give my whole knowledge to them, um, and keeping this cycle between student and teacher exciting is something that motivates me a lot. Right now, I don't miss dancing. I really miss teaching. That's a big difference right now. Okay, I really do not miss dancing. I really, really, really miss teaching. And the motivation for me comes from how people accept what I'm giving them. You know what I mean? About in 2012, I started losing something in my life. I really started losing motivation to teach, travel, etc., etc. Everything was going a little, I don't know what it was. Something was happening. And then a bunch of people turned up in London, and Raul is one of them. He was like the smallest guy I know on this planet. And he created something, a little buzz in me to start teaching again, you know, and this motivation has just driven to where I am right now. And, you know, just before we closed, we were on such a high, like, you know, really, it was a really good thing that was happening in London for us. And, but unfortunately, it's taking a break right now. But sometimes I believe, you know, things happen for a reason. And I'm okay with this break right now, because maybe I just need to reevaluate everything I was doing in life and what I want to do. And now when I come back, I'm sure everyone's going to come back, not taking what we have for granted, and, you know, wanting to dance more, wanting to learn everything that we can, as much as we can, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I just miss teaching, but we will be back. That's absolutely something that I'm looking forward to. And I think, you know, we need a light at the end of the tunnel. And I guess this is something that we have, right?
I think there's a lot more free time now up people's sleeve, because before, busy was the trend of the century. Everyone was busy, always busy. What more stuff can we take on board? We do more, and then the time for yourself is really becoming diminished. And your way of coping with this was to say, oh fuck, we might get stuck in London for God knows how long. Well, let's go and take some time for ourselves, and we'll go to Thailand. And then you guys are there and you can concentrate. Like when I messaged you the other day and asked you if you'd like to do an interview, I said, oh, how are you going? Like, how are you coping with the not dancing situation? And you said, oh, it's not too bad. I just came up with 500 new moves that I'll be able to take to my students. So he has breakfast, grabs a wife, they might go for a walk on the beach, and then he casually comes up with 500 new combinations to throw at people like when
Somebody
the
asked me this
lockdown
question
finishes.
yesterday. Somebody was asking me this question yesterday about how people are writing to me, and, you know, I'm keeping in touch with people, and they're like, how are you without dancing, without teaching, whatever? And they're like, oh, I guess you must be coming up with a lot of moves. I was going to tell them that it doesn't work like that. For me, the creation of moves actually comes on the social dance floor. So it doesn't come with me just taking Christina's hands and saying, okay, let's do this, let's do that, you know, and it doesn't work like that at all. I need to be able to dance with 300 different people, and something will come out from there. I got to test that with other people. It's a working formula that I have, only that happens on the social dance floor. It doesn't come with me just with Christina at home. It's never going to happen. I would never create a single move here, even if we were to dance with each other. It would never happen. It's not something like that, you know. It's so yes, I'm very creative, but right now I'm taking a break from that part, you know. So when I come back, I'm sure it'll all come back again.
What would you suggest one can practice in socials to better their command, i.e. preparation slash information, so that the follower always understands what you want? So how to be a
Very
better
simple.
lead.
Very simple. Focus on your technique. Your base techniques, the things that you guys think you know, are the things that you guys need to be keep doing all the time, like a crossbody lead, a crossbody inside turn, an outside turn, whatever. Just keep focusing on that. You know what? You should never get to a point where that becomes boring, because all my students in London agree that we are at it all the time. Even if you're with me for 10 years, you'll be learning a simple crossbody lead all the time, or an inside turn or something like that all the time, because, you know, your rescue part, the part that brings you out of it, is your basics, you know. So wherever you mess up or whatever you're doing, or if you're trying to create something, your exit is a basic, you know what I mean? It's your basic things, is your basic turn or your basic whatever. Now, the more better you get at it, the better you get at your base techniques, creation comes with that. You know what I mean? It's like you have two hands, you know the base, you know this, you can lead it. That's it. You take it into that and you work on it. So don't think the most complex thing is the best dance. It's not. Sometimes the most simplest things are the dance itself. You know what I mean? It's like, you will see. I mean, come to London, train with me for a little while, and I'll show you how easy it is. Yeah,
I
there
think
was.
you create a lot of funny cases. You can like I've never been more nervous, for
Oh man,
example, in some of your classes, and you might make a mistake, and then because I'm Australian, he's like, "Oh, the Bushman f***ed it up. Let's everyone pay attention to this. Like, everyone just stop what you're doing and watch this guy make an ass of himself."
Usually when I pick on somebody, it's because I'm paying attention to you.
Yeah, which
It's a
is good.
compliment. You know, it's a compliment. There was another Bushman called Kieran. I believe he's watching us right now. He
Yeah.
came to Munich to a festival, and you know, wearing all his mambo shoes and looking all cool, knowing all his shit and stuff. I made people dance, and he was doing his stuff and doing his thing. Like, and I was watching him, and I'm like, he caught my eye, you know, and I'm like, okay, cool, he's not German. And then then came the partner work. Then came the partner work part, and man couldn't do a left turn to save his life. He did not know what a left turn was. And man, the whole hour he got it from me. Really, he got it from me. I thought this guy was never going to speak to me again. I even went to apologize to him. I hope your left turn is okay now, Kieran. So yeah, I mean,
He's okay. I don't know if I should be grateful or ashamed that he was one of my students before he came to learn from you in Australia.
Look, you come to classes to learn something, right? And if you did not know how to do a left turn, you learned it. So I feel good that there was something
Positive
else able to
outcome.
show him. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, absolutely. I don't expect everybody to know everything, but it was just a funny thing that happened with the guy, you know?
Do you think there'll be an impact on social dancing when the lockdowns are taken away?
DJ Pierre from London started a question about saying that in case anything happened and everybody was supposed to go back to dancing next week, how many people would go? And I was very surprised with how many people said they wouldn't go out. And to be quite honest, I think we will be back to the way it was, because everybody's just so bored. They didn't know anything else apart from working and dancing, you know? I think, yes, there will be people who are afraid to go and make contact and stuff like that. But I've just posted a video 2 days ago in China. People are already dancing bachata with masks on, and they're full contact with each other. And the world will change, people. The world would be a changed place. I just think people will be a little bit cautious in the beginning. But the way we were all working and going so fast in this world, I'm sure we'll go back to the way we were in less than a year. But the good thing is, I believe in about 2 or 3 months' time, they will start opening up clubs and parties with just 50 people or 30 people or whatever it is. Small socials will start, you know, initially. And then by the time the summer is over, I'm sure it will be a big festival will be coming up. And because you've been inside a small social, I'm sure the fear will go away. And you will get back to the way things were, but a little bit cautiously. The good thing now is, I believe, everyone will be hygienic when they go to the dance floor. You know what I mean? It's like
There'll be alcohol sanitizers at every door.
sanitizers, masks, you know, whatever. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I just think people are scaremongering each other too much. I just decided not to watch the news anymore. And we feel much better now that me and Christina just turned off the news. She doesn't want to know anything about what's happening in Russia. And I just keep an eye on BBC just to see if there's anything new that's coming up, just to know what we're going to go back to, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be very similar to the trends we've seen for COVID-19, where it might start off quite small and then it'll really spike again when people realize it's okay and safe to come outside again. I think people will take full advantage of their freedom again, and they'll be booking tickets and congresses and flying around the world again to learn and social dance and get inspired. I've got a
I speak to a
question.
lot of promoters as well, and you know, they also have a fear inside them about what to do. You know, festivals, this, that, you know. And I'm telling them the same thing. I'm like, guys, chill out. You know, okay, this year we lost out on a few events, and you know, I'm so sorry about that. But you know, it will be okay by next year this time. Absolutely.
Because there's like, if anyone's from Europe or familiar with the system in Europe, Europe can have up to 3 or 4 festivals per weekend.
Absolutely.
Which is huge. That's so many events. Like, we don't have anything like that in Australia. We might get 1 or 2 events per month, which is still quite a lot for Australia given our population size. Where it's just because we're a big country and we're spread out.
Another thing is, I also think, in a positive way speaking, people will value what they're going to get from now on. Before, maybe they were just taking it for granted that, oh, it's just another festival, you're going to go
Spoiled for choice.
Now they will be like, okay, you know what? these 3 days, we got to dance, we got to do our thing, whatever. I think the community is going to get even more stronger. Trust me, it's a positive
Bring us
thing.
together.
Positive thing, absolutely.
Mm. This is something that I found really interesting because
I don't
you're
have
not a
to prove
performer
anything
or
to
a
anybody.
competitor,
Okay, from the beginning, nothing.
and but there is one example in your career where you have been on stage and danced.
See, back in the days, a long time ago, they used to have on Friday nights, all the artists had to come on stage and do a demonstration. I think it was mainly to show people that we were there, and secondly to show what we are here to teach. Whether it's on one or on two or whatever. So on Friday night, everybody had to do a little demonstration. And that's what we were.
Hmm.
It was not really a show, but it was a little demonstration. I've never done a show.
I'm referring to a scenario where you were asked if you could just do like a Suzy Q and maybe a basic step on
Ah,
stage. I think it
Yamule,
was
it
in,
was a boot camp. Hi, Berzad, Yamule.
but I heard from people that seen it. They said they've been watching shows for as long as they've been dancing. They said the audience for that particular show was the wildest they've ever seen an audience go.